Tony Windsor has faced the people, well, some of them at least. 400 from his electorate have gathered in Tamworth tonight to hear his justification for supporting Julia Gillard's government. The member for New England says he had no other option, but he fielded 20 hand-picked questions about his motivation and what exactly he could achieve for his rural electorate. Philippa McDonald filed this report from Tamworth.
They came early for a reserved seat at the event organised by the local newspaper. Some had to be turned away, disappointed at not hearing what makes their independent MP tick. They wanted to hear directly why he had ignored the wishes of what is a traditionally conservative electorate.
We wanted to know what his reason was for going with the Labor Party.
Tony Windsor has helped form minority governments before as a state MP and now as a federal independent with more power than he'd ever imagined. And tonight's crowd included the national candidate who was shunned by the people of New England.
Personal feelings are that as long as we get the right result for New England and regional Australia, fantastic. So whatever that comes in, when it's all unpackaged, I'll be very happy to see what comes out.
Tony Windsor fielded questions critical of the city backgrounds of the entire Labor government's cabinet. He was forced to defend his independent credentials in the face of his decision to help Labor form government.
The last thing we wanted was an arrangement where a lot of commitments, good promises were made, and then the Parliament folds.
This was a largely stage-managed event. 100 questions were submitted, but only 20 were allowed to be asked. And while so many people disagree with Tony Windsor's stance to support Julia Gillard's government, they weren't about to shout it out at tonight's forum.
I think he's stated where he's coming from. There's no doubt where he's coming from, and he is committed to getting a better deal for rural Australia. Sure, he's interested in having a good deal for this electorate, but not solely for this electorate. He has a much more statesman-like approach to this than anybody will give him credit for.
He's barking it uphill to start off with. 92% of the electorate really avoided Labor in the primary vote in the lower house. So to convince this electorate that the right decision's been made is going to be very, very intriguing.
And tonight it looked like a case of some of us may not agree, but we certainly don't hate each other. Philippa McDonald, Lateline.